So final preparations are underway in Germany ahead of this weekend's G7 summit. The leaders from the US, the UK, France, Italy, Japan and Canada will join Germany for the meeting, with Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, also invited as a special guest of the German Chancellor. For more, let's go to the German capital and speak to SABC Correspondent Trent Murray. Trent, what can we expect from the summit? Which issues are likely to dominate?
Yeah, well, good evening. There is a very long list of them, according to officials here. Of course, the leaders coming together at such a critical time for the world. You have issues like record inflation in a number of countries, food prices, fuel prices at record highs. Of course, we've also got the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, making sure the world is ready to respond if there are any future waves of the virus, including making sure there's enough vaccines in all parts of the world. And of course, climate change as well will feature heavily. But I think dominating most of the discussions for those leaders will, of course, be the war in Ukraine. President Zelensky has also been invited to attend. It's the first time he will have left Ukraine since Russia launched that full-scale invasion back in February, and he will really have an opportunity to sit down eye to eye with leaders like President Joe Biden, and we expect continue to plead his case, asking for more aid, asking for more weapons, and essentially asking the world not to forget the very difficult spot Ukraine is in as it tries very hard to repel Russian advances in the east of its country.
Trent, we know South Africa will have a seat at the table. What's the significance of President Cyril Ramaphosa's visit?
Well, certainly speaking to officials here, they say it is a demonstration of Germany and the West's desire to continue to work very closely with South Africa, both as a fellow democracy and also as a key partner within the African Union and on the continent itself. Of course, as you mentioned, the timing of this, though, is very interesting because the visit by President Ramaphosa comes off the back of that BRICS meeting. And so in many ways, I think you will see now the other side of that equation, the West really trying to court South Africa and to really try and get them on board with some of those key economic measures and key recovery measures after the pandemic. Of course, joining President Ramaphosa will be the leaders of several other countries, including India, Indonesia and Senegal. And we expect there will be several discussions around working closer with countries in the kind of middle income part of the world. What I know is that there will be two key issues discussed. One will be a new investment mechanism from the West to try and help with infrastructure, especially in Africa. That has been designed in some ways to counter Chinese money from the Belt and Road Initiative. There will also be discussions on China itself and making sure that there is a synergy, if you will, between countries trading with China on issues like human rights and supply chain problems. That's certainly what the US is saying going into this meeting. They would like to have top of the agenda. From the South African side, we know there'll be discussions on behalf of especially the ag sector, the agriculture sector within South Africa, trying to open up potentially new markets, and then just general trade of investment as well. So plenty of discussions. It doesn't feel like 3 days will be enough for it all, but as you say, South Africa will have a seat right in the centre of that table to discuss it all with the world's top leaders.
Trent, thank you very much for that wrap and a scene set ahead of the kickoff of the G7 summit. SABC News correspondent Trent Murray there live for us from Berlin in Germany.